Welcome to our first EP collab, man. Oakland Vallejo, the Bay Area, stand up. I'm from that town. She from Vallejo. Said let's collab. She said okay. We all should play. Hot potato. Whoever got the hottest vibe wants the net. Challenge accepted. It's me, I'm the best. Like creative players on hunters, no less. The lines in your forehead just told me you stress it. Got G-O-D on me side. Ooh, he blessed me. All the lies they tell it's a vaccine. They're acting it's so bad like it's wrestling. Keep my circle so small it's insane. If you made the cut then you're part of my team. Just like blowing that plank on strikes don't cut her. Attracted to the mind but I like my hooder. She gotta have a pretty face too.
Hey y'all, good afternoon or good evening wherever you are. Welcome to the B3ST Reviews channel. I am Mrs. Best. I have my fabulous co-host and author, James Jackson, is with us. Hi, James.
Hi, everybody.
He is here. I'm very happy to see him just because he's kind of the reason I showed up today. I did not feel like it, and I'm not even going to lie to y'all. But I get to see my friends, so that makes it worth it. Motivation you are. Lord, we are here to go over Love and Hip Hop Miami season 5 episode 22 because I guess we're in season 5 still because they just announced that there will not be a season 5 reunion. We thought that season 5 ended when y'all told us that it was the season finale. They did this shit with Bell Collective, and I don't understand why it's starting to be like a trend. It drives me crazy.
Okay, because my Bell Collective, I got to go back in and figure out what episode it is, what season it is.
I think people will understand. Honestly, like, if y'all watch Bell Collective on James's channel, I got a playlist. Everything's in order from what it should be. Do that. Because I don't have time. These TV network is trying to mess us up. Anywho, you guys, let me find my little notes. Love and Hip Hop Miami was interesting. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta gave nothing. We'll get into that later. But we're going to jump into it. So Amara La Negra decides that she's going to invite Bobby Lights on this trip that was supposed to be for her daughters that we know is a cast trip. And shout out to Shayna MCD. She is a creator that I found through James, who's been super supportive, and you started a little circle of support. I was watching her Love and Hip Hop Miami recap because she recaps this as well. And she basically was saying the exact same things that we have been saying. And so I went and I looked at a couple. Oh, she's here. Hey. I was watching your recap, Shayna, I Love and Hip Hop Miami. And she said,
too, actually.
This shit is not even like the reality of reality TV. She said, I was hollering. I was like, you know what? They sure did fuck up reality part of reality TV with Love and Hip Hop. It does not feel real. Here is the creator who I'm talking about, her recap. Yes, just because I recap.
Yes, please subscribe to my girl. She is awesome. She get those recaps in. I am so inspired by her. So yes, I can't wait to collab. I'm still trying to fit an avenue. Now that we're losing the majority of the shows I recap, it's going to be harder to find a place to put you in, Shayna. But trust me, I want to collab.
It's going to be figured out. It can always be figured out.
Oh, absolutely.
But she had a really good recap, y'all. And I agreed with Shayna. I think most creators do. This show feels so scripted that you forget you're watching reality TV sometime. The only thing that reminds me I'm watching reality TV is Amara's fucked up wigs. Now, listen, I'm on here with some new growth myself, y'all. I ain't got no fucking shame. But I'd rather have new growth than a fucked up wig. Hair grows, but I don't know what's happening under there. So... you know,
it looks heavy. It looks like a helmet. You could tell she has on a stocking cap underneath it. You can see it. So it's like I want her. You know what I want her to do, and I know she's not gonna do it, but I would love for her to get like some locks, like extended locks, like maybe
it would be so the faux locks. That would be so pretty.
Yes, faux locks. Yes, that would look so cute on her if she would do it. But I know she's not. She's gonna wear these wigs and synthetic hair and all this. Dear God,
she gonna leave us in it. She gonna leave us in it. I don't know why Amara's suddenly into the wigs. I mean, she's always essentially worn one, but it just seems like in recent times she's like really into the wigs. But she invites Bobby on this trip that obviously is a cast trip. Basically, they discuss the trip, and she claims She said something stupid, and it's not really relevant, but it was stupid, so I'm gonna comment on it. She said that of course, she still is in love with Alan, but he's a married man, so she can't be with him. You knew he was married before you had the babies.
Okay, you didn't had 3 children with this man.
Come on, Amara.
You know that we not gonna play like this.
In the words of my dad, put on your thinking cap, please, girl. Please put on your
use
thinking
the brain
cap.
cells that you move to the left. Like use those because the right ones just ain't coagulating with life. It really is.
Not the brain cells to the left and the right.
Well, sometimes depending on for you, it would be your left to your right because you're left-handed. So yes, whatever brain cells you don't use from the hand you don't write with, yeah, you need to reactivate those. That way you can think clearly.
I'm done with you, James. I'm so done with him. I'm so, ooh, my hair is driving me crazy. I'm gonna take these out. Anywho, James, you're a fool. And I agree, Shayna, nothing is on TV right now. She said nothing's on nothing in real time. There's really nothing on TV like that right now. Anywho, Amara says that I just feel like you chose to get pregnant not once but twice by a married man. Now he don't want you. You claim to still love him. It's looking like you might be given. I feel like a lot of the issues with their kids and the co-parenting is because he is international, I guess, bi-coastal parenting. I don't know what you call that. But then I think another piece of it is the fact that people, I just don't trust the modern. I'll say that. I'll get to that later, which we will.
I was going to say, get to that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So Bobby Lights decides to invite Trina. I don't know why. I love Trina. Listen to her music all throughout high school. I swore I was the baddest bitch. But what I will say is I don't think she needs to be on this show. She doesn't engage. She feels like she can do what she wants. And if it's that way, then go be a superstar celebrity outside of the show, which you can do. Not everyone can do that, Trina. Moving it along. Amara says no to Shay coming. Obviously, no one gets along with Shay. I don't know why people keep trying to make this work, but Shay can barely get along with herself. Okay, let alone other people. Shayna said Amara is sneaky. I used to like her. Now she's right. I think we all loved Amara La Negra or had like a little soft spot for her, and now she's like changed.
It was. I stopped liking her when she fell out with the chunky girl that used to be on the show. I stopped liking her then. Yes, I stopped liking her then. Not that I was on JoJo's side because JoJo was fucked up, but the way she handled her, I was like, it's messy. And then when her parents came on, I was like, okay, things are starting to make sense. And this is the kind of person that needs to be on somebody's therapy couch intensely. We're talking 2 to 3 days a week. Maybe even rotate a few therapists in there, just so that way you're not getting the same bias,
No, rotate the therapist.
No, rotate the therapist. I had to do it a time or two. So no, rotate the therapist. So the evaluations look completely different because they're supposed to.
I'm cracking up. Rotate the therapist. Anywho, y'all. Sorry I keep going off camera. I have a lot going on in my background today. Packages that my spouse orders that we don't need. That's exactly what's happening. But yeah, I agree. Amara has changed. I think that the way and the direction she's going, which is how she handles people, what she does on this show is going to make a lot of people not really care for her. She's starting to be on my list too. Well, she's been on it. She's also a liar, but liar coincides with being sneaky. So that's a very, very good observation. All right, y'all. I'm gonna try and be nice because y'all know I can't stand Bucky, but we gotta talk about Shay. You said what?
None of us can stand Shay.
I haven't seen anybody who seems to really care for her except for like the net bangers on Instagram.
Because Boots did an interview recently with Oliver Twix, and I watched the full thing. And the things she said about Bucky really line up to what we see on TV. So with that being said, it's making me side-eye her even more than I would like to, especially because when I was a kid, I liked Boots, but as a grown adult, I find her very annoying. So the fact that I'm starting to actually listen to her and actually understand her, I'm just like, when it comes to Bucky. Now, the rest of them, I don't know. Boots, I don't know. Bucky, I definitely see what you're talking about.
I'm not surprised. I think when you see someone do the same things over and over on TV, at some point you have to say, okay, this can't always be for a check because everybody get tired regardless of money. So she has to just be that way to some extent. But we see Shay meet with Brooke Valentine, who they have thrown into this show. They basically talk about how Von Shay last season and all the stuff that happened with the baby and the laughing emojis at the child being sick. I don't even like to get into bullshit like that. I don't give a damn how much I'm being paid. I feel like all of these networks and people need to, like, if anybody laughs at a kid or does something cruel that impacts a kid or can embarrass a kid, just put them the fuck out. Kids should be off limits. And it's not only up to a child's parents to protect the child. We all should care to some extent, but you know, it is. I'm glad Von Shay's ass is gone, and I hope she's in therapy. I really, really do.
I hope she's in therapy, and I hope she got a job with that degree. I'm praying she did, because I do not want her to work that hard only for this show to tarnish anything that she tried to build.
I agree. But for some reason, Shay felt the need to explain this to Brooke Valentine, which I'm like, why does Brooke need to know? She wasn't there, but Brooke is messy. Brooke is nosy. Brooke wants for Shay and Amara to make peace. Listen, I understand these people are on the show, but in real life, let's just talk about how real life is. And James is laughing because he know what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people like who know the old me think like for me, it's like disrespect me. It's up. I'm not like that at all. I'm just not. But what I will say, people are going to be friends with who they want to be friends with. People are going to date who they want to date. They are attracted to who they are attracted to. I don't think it's our place to force anybody or encourage anybody to see the value in somebody else. Obviously, they're doing this for the show. Again, quoting Shayna, it's lacking reality of this TV. But you know, I just didn't even understand the purpose in bringing that up and why it's even has to do with Shay and Amara making up. How did you feel about Brooke meeting with Shay? I don't get the point.
I didn't get the point of it either, because y'all just met, apparently, because that's what they said in the scene. And what is your purpose for inviting her on the trip? I think this, honestly, this wasn't, see, that's how you know production not even smooth no more. Because the fact that they're just saying, we're just meeting and I'm want to invite you to this trip, why don't you get along with the other ladies? I don't feel like this was supposed to be Brooke's scene. I feel like y'all should have got somebody else to do it, in regards to that. Like, I don't know who they would have gotten, because she's falling out with literally every single last one of these ladies.
Every single person,
So
yeah.
I don't know who they would have gotten. Maybe Bobby. Maybe Bobby could have been the person to invite Shay, because then that would have been more believable. But Brooke inviting her, knowing that she just met her literally in that scene,
Right.
it's like, that's odd. And then it's producing. Y'all are showing this.
Yeah,
breaking the
because in
fourth
real
wall.
life, people aren't just going on trips with people they just met, unless it's like a work trip or something. Then that, but I'm not going on vacation. The little bit of time I got to relax with people I don't know, not at all. But yeah, it's weird. Moving it along, y'all. We did see Florence Luce. I'm so sick of her. She really
When I
annoys me.
tell you,
I
she get on my nerves more than anybody on Love and Hip Hop cast, Atlanta or Miami. She gets on my nerves. It's because y'all think Amara is sneaky. She is sneaky. This lady right here is the sneakiest thing I've ever seen in my life.
she just annoys me. I can't. She is sneaky, but she annoys me. She's meeting with Safaree because I guess they're supposed to do a song together. That's how you know Flo's music career is going in the wrong direction. I'm not saying Safaree does not have talent, but you went from working with Ray J to no, you went from working with other Koopa artists to working with Ray J to not working with Ray J, and now you're going and you're working with your husband. Then you left working with your husband to go and do a song with Trina. Now you've left doing a song with Trina, and now you're working with Safaree.
I mean, I'll give her this. I'm not going to give her much, but I will give her this. At least she's using the resources available to her to get it done. I will give her that, because a lot of people get on these shows and just focus solely on the drama. at least she is trying to use the resources that are free and available to her. Safari, Ray J, Trina. She's using the resources, so she's gonna use them until she run out of them.
But how does the resource matter? And she's about to run out because I don't know what comes after him. Homegirl said admitted she ain't been paying her rent. She hasn't been. You could have been used these resources to get you some sort of hit or something popular for the
Not
people
resources like I'm not talking about that kind of resource. I'm talking about the fact that she can collab with other artists on the show.
Like that's what I'm saying. Her collabing with those artists should generate her some type of profit or something, but it don't matter when she's not using what she's generating from her resource to pay her bills.
Maybe Marlon controls the money. I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised. I really would not be surprised if he did. The studio scene with them was weird though. She puts on her music and wants him to dance with her. Talk about Kumpa as sensual and all of this. You're starting to show yourself, Flo. Obviously, you use your looks, your assets to get you things from men and women. It's not even specific to one gender. So I don't know why we needed to see her with Safaree. If they put out a song, y'all let me know how it is. I'm not listening to that shit. I can promise you that.
I'm not gonna
listen. I'm not listening to it.
First off, she's not my kind of artist. I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. But then the other thing I want to say about her and this whole Safaree thing, it was like you sitting on that couch, crossing your legs, rubbing your hand on your thigh, and doing all this thing with your eyes and stuff. It was like, come on, we know Marlon behind the camera.
Yeah.
We know Marlon behind the camera. You can cut it out. You know you're not going to give it no Safaree. So come on. Like, quit playing with us. Like,
it's annoying that she's even trying to talk to people while you got another man in the house. I agree. Flo can go. Somebody put it on a shirt because it's catchy. It's very catchy.
I don't want to see her next season. I don't
something about her has felt disingenuous for me watching her from the beginning. I know that not everything we see, especially in today's time, is actual, like what's going on in these people's lives. They put on the front. But Flo just seems like from the beginning, like everything her and her family does is storyline-ish. And
it's calculated as hell. Like this whole episode, with even which we finna get to, even with the cash trip, is calculated because what purpose was that needed for? And it's another way to show y'all are trying to maintain longevity on this show because it brings a constant check by any means possible. You have dated a woman. You have gotten to fights with the biggest name on the show. You will at any cost. You and your sister. That's why.
And they've been here like 3 seasons. That's it.
And that's why I'm saying that's why she ain't mad at that sister for sleeping with her husband because she knows that she needs that sister to start the bullshit because you know that sister gonna start that bullshit regardless. As soon as she get that.
Every time you say that, I'm just like, sister slept with husband. It's just like, ugh. Because Marlon ain't even.
No,
especially with that hairline child. I can't.
Even if he was my type.
No, just no. Anybody dating him is slow at this time. Anywho.
Slow. There you go.
I cannot with you. Oh my God. Sorry, y'all. I haven't been feeling well. But I'm pushing through because the weather doesn't know what the fuck it wants to do in California. It was hailing and raining. Now the sun is out.
Oh, Shayna, we need to talk about this for a minute. Hold on.
Her sister never even slept with her husband. I kind of feel the same way. I started thinking that like last season because in real life, hell, even if you watch Maury, like people don't just forgive that. They don't. I know people like to say blood over everything, family over everything, but like to an extent, if your family is giving you that family ship, I don't think her sister really slept with him because how the fuck is they even comfortable around each other? This is on TV. The kid's gonna see it. The kids are totally calm and like unaffected by all of this. I feel like most of it is a lie. I'm glad she said
don't.
You don't?
I don't. And let me explain why. When you look at vindictive people and you see how weak-willed and easily influenced Flo is, it is not hard to convince her to have grace. It is not hard at all. And that's what I want people to understand is that I believed it. I even believed it before she even admitted it. I said, because we weren't recapping the show at the time, but I said to you Like, I don't know if it was sex. I said it somewhere. I can't find it. I said, that sister slept with him. That sister slept with him. Because why are you so willing to give up your friend to sleep with her? And knowing what it's about. Because she had specific details. I don't think it was recent. That's my thing. So I feel like if it happened years ago, probably before the children.
Okay, that could be. So
Yeah,
basically, a
I
little
don't think
bit
it
of
happened
both
yet.
is true. It probably did not happen in recent time, but it probably has happened. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
That's definitely fair. That makes sense. Either way, I'm tired of it. If season after season this is happening, I want to tell Flo like so bad, put your bitch on a leash as well. But we will get to that later. Now we got to talk about Bucky again. She goes to see her family, and I know James. I know y'all. James like has a irritation level for Bucky that does not exist. So
Because
he's
it doesn't.
immediately
Because
just done.
the shit that comes out her mouth does not make sense, and it's not logical. It is not with no grown 40-year-old ass woman. He said, and then you putting your mama through all this stress and shit for no reason. It is ridiculous. I thought so at first, but now everything about that family is a lie. Now Gael is pushing on her ex-girlfriend.
That's
Now
what made me not believe it, because I'm like, you gonna go from the husband to the.
Now that I did. Now that felt like a storyline. The girl pushing up on, because I don't believe her and Flo were together. I don't believe that at all. I believe Marlon wasn't gonna allow her to be with no man. So this is what you gonna do. You gonna grab one of your homegirls that nobody can connect you to, and then go about it. That I believe is a storyline. That Gael pushing up on the ex, even Flo being with her, was a story. I don't believe that shit was real. Just because I know men like Marlon. They not finna let they women be out here with men on a TV show when we was just together last season. It's not gonna happen that way. You're gonna get you a girl because I know you can do it, and that's what's gonna happen. That's just what it is. I don't. Yeah.
Flo's a mess, Lord. Nobody knows. The sad thing is the conversation, no matter which way you pen it, is this real? Can we believe it? So nobody buys it. Anywho, so Shay, Bucky Johnson goes to see her family, and basically she's upset at her family because she felt like they did not defend her.
Was that the Tesla he bought her for her birthday? Or was that her own shit? Or was that her own shit?
Here's the thing. My husband worked for Tesla for 10 years.
I can't
tell y'all this. There's people who can pay to go to the actual Tesla service centers and get a custom one. And then there's the people who just get the basic stock ones. It looked like that was a basic stock one. And based on how it's bulky, but it wasn't like, it's a little less bulky than the original Model Y, I think she bought a different Tesla. That's my personal opinion.
Okay, so I was like, I know this girl is not rolling around that lady Tesla like this. I know she not.
Listen, there are other electric cars too. That's all I'm gonna say, because I don't want to get sued. Yeah. But if you can buy another electric car, it would be recommended. Not everything that glitter is gold, boo. Not everything. Anyhow, so basically, Shay is upset her family hasn't been defending her. What she's talking about is at her $1 million celebration for her business. Her family was not kikiing or anything with the people she got into it with, but everybody was saying the same thing. Shay has changed since being with Fabo in a negative direction. She had multiple people leaving your event because you're going off on them because they don't agree with your man or your relationship, which shows how childlike Shay is in the mind. Listen, I know I'm an imperfect person. There's a lot I have to work on as well, but I could give a fuck how anybody feels, friends and family included, about my man. They don't have to like him. I do. So I don't care. But as long as you're not like running around town making up false rumors and shit, I don't care. But nothing that Shay's family or friends or anyone we've seen on this cast say about Favo has been proven to be a lie. Every single allegation, every single rumor, every single thing that has come up about this man has been proven to be true. Which tells me he's bad at lying, yet the nigga keep doing it. But that's a whole nother topic, because he keep getting caught and he just keeps doing it. But she's upset at her family for not defending her. For some reason, and I feel like this was an edit, her mom talks about the voodoo and is concerned about her daughter going to the mambo with Flo and all of that bullshit. Shay gonna tell her, Mom, that girl is funny looking and crazy. Shay.
You still went to the voodoo priest.
Shay, you went with her though. You
Yeah.
went with
So
the
as
fantasy.
crazy as she look, and as everybody want to talk about, she looked like the Kirby doll and the whatever the else, whatever them things with the eyes close together like that. You still win. It, you still were trying to predicate a way to be with this band, no matter what he has lined up. So regardless, I mean, yeah, Gael's delivery was absolutely wrong, but at the same time, you still did that.
Right.
And that's the point we trying to make. We don't care what she look like. We don't care what she is.
Shay doesn't care about the root of this of a problem. She doesn't care about the solution. Shay just cares to not look a certain way. And that's how teenagers think. She has a lack of deductive reasoning, is what I say.
I think
She really does.
I agree with that, but lack of deductive reasoning to the 10th degree, like to the second power. What did you say, Matt? To the third power, she has a lack of deductive reasoning to the third power because there's
Ooh.
no way in hell do. But Shay acting like she's not funny. Look,
My husband says it every time she come on the TV. Every time he'd be like, "Damn!" I'm like, "Look at me looking homeless," but okay. But I think Shay looks better without makeup. She definitely wears too much
well,
of
here's
it.
the thing. Shay will look. Shay is beautiful. She is. We're not gonna like. We can put it like that. She's beautiful. But the problem with Shay that really does detour the thought process of all of us all thinking she's beautiful is that she wears 175-pound wigs. That is the reason why we all have this opinion. If
She
Shay
wears
would
too much
tone
makeup too,
and too
though.
much
She's
makeup,
got to
it's
work
like,
on
and
that.
it's
Her
not even
face
her
is shaped
complexion.
like a bird's beak, and that's the part. And they
Yeah,
put
see,
so
if
much
she would
on it.
lighten up the makeup a little bit, and then
She has to.
if she would stop wearing them heavy ass wigs, she's another one. I want her to wear her hair, and I want her to get either some braids or I want her to get some locks. I want her to get some. I want her to get something else. I want her to get something else because the wigs is not wigging. It's not doing what it's supposed to do. It looks heavy, and you look hot. It is Miami. I used to live there, so I know.
I think Shay just definitely less makeup, different hair would help. But I also think because she's got all those freckles, yes, she's bringing up. She's very pretty without the makeup and the wigs. And that's why I don't understand sometimes girls who are naturally just simply pretty put on too much makeup. I want to see her freckles. Anybody who's seen Shay on her page or anything like that with no makeup, freckles, very pretty girl.
She did a photo shoot when she was on charm school, and they actually contoured the freckles so that way they would show, even though she had the makeup, and she did look very pretty with them. So that's why I was like, I don't understand why she
I'm
does.
done with Shayna. Wait a minute. She
Well,
said she still looked like an Arthur character,
what did they
though.
say? Did they say it was Muffy? Muffy,
Oh no, she does. Oh
Muffy.
my, you
I
guys,
know,
I love
or was it
Arthur, by the way.
Francine? It was either Muffy or Francine. It was one of the two. I don't remember everybody what they look like. I just remember the name. So it was Muffy and it was Francine. They were with the friends, right? Stop.
Well, because the theme song is playing in my head and I can see Shay doing that. I don't know why. Moving on. Y'all, listen. I'm a pothead, y'all. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, okay? So sometimes in my brain, I'm going off all these other places. It is what it is. Shayna, watch your mouth. As James would say. I'm cracking up. She said an Arthur character. I'm gonna move it along because I can't unsee the sketch. She's going off with her family. Says, Gael's funny looking and crazy. She talks with her mama, and basically, her mom said Shay feels this was the most childish scene I ever watched. And we used to not really care for Shay's mom, but listen, parents are flawed people, just like the rest of us. It's just when you have the responsibility of a person, sometimes your flaws impact that person. It's a fact of life. Doesn't mean her mom was a bad person or a bad mom. But I think after going on, your mom has come on Eon La Fix My Life to try and work it through with you, Shay. She has come on this show. I wouldn't want people to know I'm the mother of Bucky, but she has come on this show and show like your family has tried to support you and has tried to be there. It seems like they make an effort. So when you're hollering at your mom about how she hasn't given Fabo a chance, as you're not giving her the chance and opportunity to express or to respect her feelings it's not fair. Shay keeps asking for things that she's not willing to give to other people. It's very one-sided.
Well,
And I
it's
don't like
like
that.
we could tell. Let me explain it to y'all. We could tell that Shay has rebelled at a very young age and continue to rebel because that behavior is still there, her being 40 years old today. She is giving indications of rebelling once, and there's only so much a parent can do when you come to rebel. That's why I kind of felt like I wish she would have stayed on the I'ma Fix My Life so we could figure out what that was. But the problem with her, she doesn't like accountability. You don't want to admit to your mother that that man was wrong with how he treated her because you know your mother deep down is right.
Mm.
So you don't want your mother to be right in a situation because that then puts out an indication of your childhood. I get it. I understand that, but at the same time, this is where you got to put your pride aside and say, yes, how he talked to my mother was disrespectful, and if he could do it to her, it shouldn't be no different.
Personally, I think that's a piece of it for almost anybody, but I'm starting to feel like yes, Shay had struggles and she probably did see her dad talk to her mom crazy and experience, you know, the infidelity. She does also act like she's had sexual trauma as well as a child. But I also think that if none of those things happened to her and she didn't experience, she might be that way. She is the only girl. And I get the feeling she might be a smidge spoiled because of that, especially being a Black family from the South. I'm from a Black family from the South, and I was the firstborn female on my dad's side. And I was a little spoiled. I've had to unlearn some habits, but so I definitely think that could be a piece of it. Shay just seems like if she's not getting her way is what I'm saying, that she's going to have a problem. And that to me means that you're spoiled. Let me get Shayna's comment up on thy screen. I heard Fable call her mama a bitch last season. Shayna says, wait, because she typed it out. Your grammar is impeccable, Shayna, and your spelling. It looks like a nice little note that you start reading. You're like, oh. But I heard Fable call her mother a bitch last season. Shay is out of her mind. She'll learn when her daughter gets older. That's right. That is correct.
Oh yeah, because your children become your biggest teacher.
Yeah.
God has a very, very funny sense of humor when it comes to children and what they embody based on what you show them. And what you show your children is one Shay, she can be disrespectful, she can be mean, but then also she can then tolerate that same behavior from someone who she thinks loves her.
Yeah. Yeah. I really think that she's just spoiled and ungrateful. What's good, Naya? Welcome.
Hey.
Hi, Pat. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I think everybody can agree, though. She is out of her mind. She is going to learn when her child gets older. And you are correct. His mama, he did call her mom a bitch. Listen, I don't have the best relationship with my mom, really, but I wish the fuck my husband would call her out. You listen.
When I tell you I would have found the nearest lawnmower and ran his ass over with it, I don't have time.
I just feel like regardless on the issues we have with our parents, they are still our parents. They give us life. It doesn't mean we have to deal with their disrespect. But in this case, Shay's mom is not disrespecting her. She just being an ass butt, a butthole, as they call it. And I don't like that. So yeah, I think we can agree she's pretty hard to tolerate. Next bullshit we see, and I'm still lost on why Shay brought up Gael, but we'll get back to that, is Zoe Brinks go to meet with Flo, and Flo gives Zoe Brinks advice on controlling her emotions. Listen, right message, wrong delivery. I don't want Flo giving advice to a grain of rice on how to develop into something soft and edible. I don't want Flo giving advice on anything. I just don't.
I said the same thing. I said, you went to the wrong person. First of all, there's nobody on this cast qualified to give advice to anybody because they all need some shit. But you went to Flo of all. I would have much rather you went to Bucky.
Yeah.
I would have much rather you went to her.
Bucky can at least tell you to avoid Flavor Flav. Flo might send you toward him and tell you not to pay your rent because it's going to take them a couple months to put you out anyway. Flo seemed like that friend that will give you that advice. She just does.
Well, based on this conversation, which I'm sure you finna get to, we see that.
Yeah. It's a disaster. So I'm tired of Zoe calling herself a big girl. Listen, y'all gonna cancel me if you want. I ain't got shit anyway. The bitch is big. We know we can't miss her. That's obvious. We get that she's big. But I feel like not
She's
everybody
using it. She's using it as like a sympathy tool. Like you're using it as like a that's why you can't get ahead situation. And to me, that's like the biggest cop out and illogical thinking when there are plenty of big girls out there that are doing it and that are winning. And the biggest example of it all is one who shows everybody that she's big and loves her curves and all her body and wants you to see all of her ass and titties. It's Lizzo. So
listen, Zoe has to be young to not remember Monique, Misdemeanor Elliott. Like there was a lot of people who were doing it in big. Here's the thing, and why I'm tired of herself calling herself big. I really am. Girl, we know that you're big. Nobody really cares. The people who are saying something about that are probably insecure themselves. I really don't give a damn how big or small somebody is, unless I'm really dating them, to be entirely honest. But outside of that, none of us should care. I feel like she keeps bringing this up since we met her on the season, and it's like, no shade. I'm not trying to be mean, but do something about it or shut up about it.
It's like, it's like, one, you can tell you don't have confidence. That's obvious. You're going to need it being in the industry because no one's going to ever outlook that. So I don't know if you're just trying to build immunity to it. I don't know what she's trying to do with it. But for me, listening to her talk to Flo and listening to her since she's been on the show, it's like, ma'am, we do not need this. You needed to come on this show thinking you was the best shit since sliced bread. You needed to come on this show thinking that you were just it on the stick and everybody else was the stick. That's how you needed to come on the show. I don't feel sorry for her. I don't, y'all. Like, I try because I think she does have something. A lot of hair talent. That girl's a good stylist, I am sure. But I need her to come better than that. Like, even Shekinah on Loving Hip Hop Atlanta is overly confident.
Yeah.
And as loud as hell.
Cabbage Patch doll that she is, Jeff.
I'm just saying. So come on, Nyla.
Zoe, it's not going to carry you for seasons. Eventually, we're going to get tired of hearing about it. I'm a firm believer, just like Lizzo's doing it. If you want to lose weight, go lose weight. If you big and you comfortable, then be big and comfortable. There's always going to be people, whether you big or small, who dislike you just because of how you look. It's fine. There's people who think I'm the worst thing that they've seen since a molded piece of cheese. But to my husband, I'm everything. So it does. Everybody likes and has their preferences. So she needs to move on. I don't know why she also went to people who don't go to somebody who has on more makeup than comes in the box to get advice on beauty. Go to somebody who might look a little
else. Yeah, go to somebody else. Because I saw Flo without makeup and didn't even recognize her.
Yeah. Oh, damn. I haven't seen her without makeup yet. I don't think I have. Oh, I'm gonna go look now. Yeah, anywho, not nice. Be big boned it. It's fine.
It was in the episode. She was sitting in the back of the car with Gael. She didn't have on makeup.
I probably don't. Man, you don't understand what I go through getting through these episodes. I'm like, I'm not 21 anymore. It doesn't hit the same. Love and hip hop. Anywho, do me a favor for those who are here, like the video. If you have not already, I appreciate you for doing so. Long story short, Zoe invites Flo on the trip. Flo says I want to bring Gael. And this is another reason why I don't believe any of Flo and Gael's storylines. Flo can't do anything without Gael. And when she is mad at Gael, allegedly for sleeping with her husband and things like that, she's using her to talk about and film with and to have a storyline with. So I don't buy it. I don't understand why you need to bring Gael. She say she's going to keep Gael in check because Zoe's like, because she be doing too much. Now, for some reason, she still brings her. I need everybody to hear me loud when I say this. If you are a +1, you don't get a +1. And if you want one, ask permission. Listen, that's how we know it's a cash trip. I've had trips, girls' trips. Leona had one actually a few years ago for New Year's on her birthday. We all went to Vegas. I tried to bring a +1. She made it very clear to me and anyone else, no +1s. No. It's a girls' trip. I want to be around people I know. I don't want no drama. So I don't think that you should, as a plus one, bring plus one flow, especially your messy ass sister.
I agree. Yeah, especially her. But no, I agree. You're being invited to a trip as a plus one. Why are you bringing? And what's the purpose of bringing Guy in the first place? Don't she need to go to the insurance company, buy a restaurant or something? Don't she need to go check on her kids? Why do you need to bring her?
Gael is a mess because they don't. I don't think that. I think this is why we need like new cast members or like more boundaries with the network because
Let me
it's
tell you something. I told, and I think I've said this before. Miami is elite when it comes to people and circles and where you belong in the Miami circles. And I'm gonna tell you, 'cause I'm gonna be real with you. The real people that got the real talent outside of Trick and Trina don't need hip hop.
that makes sense. That makes
Don't
sense.
need it. They don't need it whatsoever. Which is why I have to. Because if you realize, there's only 3 in the main cast members that are actually born and bred in Miami. The rest of them are. We have Safaree in the main credits. He's not from Miami. He's from New York. We have Ray J and Princess, who ain't been on the show 5 fucking episodes, and here they are. They're not from there. Brooke Valentine is another one. She just got placed to Miami because they didn't know where to put her. And then, so you only have a few of them that are actually there. And I'm not saying Trick and Trina need this. I'm not saying any of that. I get they were the appeal to bring it to Miami. But I'm saying the real elite people, the people who are making it, like you would never catch DJ Khaled on here. You would never catch Pitbull on here. Anybody else, you'll never catch these other artists who are in elite circles in Miami on these shows. You're just not gonna do
They
it.
got other people though, so they could
They
figure.
have them, but I think Love and Hip Hop were damaged the brand before it actually built it.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that's another topic that I might be doing a podcast on Patreon for. So be on the lookout for that. Like networks like Zeus and stuff, while it's entertaining, I think it is impacting those who go on reality TV to like get a career that's substantial. It's gonna be hard if people only remember you for tearing up restaurants and acting a fool wherever you go. So there is that. Moving on, you guys, we got a little bit sidetracked, but that's what we do. It's all right. Amara La Negra and Eliza Rain meet up. Eliza wants to buy a house. We watched her look at a house, have her daughter come in it, all those things, but she is having trouble getting approved and accepted by the HOA in the neighborhood because of her daughter's criminal record. This is another reason, if you are younger, to follow the law. Yes, if you have felonies, it's hard to rent apartments. It's hard to own a home. You may think you golden and have figured everything else out until it comes time to own property or apply for business licenses. Depending on your state, you'll have some issues. So this has impacted her daughter. So hopefully, I'm sure that they'll figure it out just because her daughter's so young and whatnot. But then again, the neighborhood may not want to deal with a young lady who rebelled against her parent, ended up pregnant young, and then in addition to that has a criminal record. That's
from my situations of looking at HOAs, because I did do a little bit of real estate. A lot of that is, what did you go to jail for? Is more so the issue, because overall there could be something like, they're not going to say no if you have a DUI. They're not going to say no if it was something petty, but they're going to say no if you were convicted of a crime where you're stealing catalytic converters and everybody in the neighborhood got cars.
yeah.
They're going to tell you no. They're going to say no, because then if someone shit you, the first person they're going to look at. So
yeah, because I watch Love After Lockup, Love During Lockup. Speaking of which, is back in April, so those recaps will be returning. And a lot of the inmates that come out of the show who done robbed banks before can get into the HOA. And there was a lady from there that they talked to on the phone who was like, well, he can't, there's no banks in the neighborhood. But then sometimes you'd be surprised, it'd be like smaller petty crimes, like actually
shoplifting. That's another one that
they don't want that.
Home invasions. Yeah, those, they're not going to mess with you. But if it's something silly like you,
this is why when I buy a home, I'm gonna try and do so somewhere where there is no HOA. But that's a whole different topic that we'll get into another time. But Eliza's having that trouble with her daughter. We will see more with her daughter at the end of this episode, child. But Amara mentions that Shay is coming on the trip to the Dominican Republic, and Eliza's really upset. She does make good points about Shay. Again, right message, wrong deliverer.
yes.
Eliza basically states that Shay hits below the belt, speaking of kids, how they got into the world, which I agree. She does. But then on the same end, I don't feel sorry for Eliza because of how she publicly tooted herself around as a bop, basically, before she was on the show. And then in addition to that, Miami Tip said the exact same things. That is where Shay got the information from. If you choose to forgive Tip, then you can't be mad at other people for saying shit that, you know, your friend, if you forgive her, you can forgive the other. And also you came for Shay. So that's why if you come for Shay, she's going to do
I was like,
much.
yeah.
Shay doesn't have a happy medium.
I was say, I understood what she was saying, and I agreed with her, but I was like, but ma'am, that coming from you is rich.
Yeah.
You need to calm it down because you ain't no better than her.
And that's why it's important to take time casting to the networks in that call center of VH1. Like, y'all got to cast correctly, having somebody who's not likely to argue, somebody loud like BB Leaks, for example, somebody who's right in the middle like Candy was for many years. It's good to have a variety of different personalities because otherwise shit like this will go in this way. But basically, Amara wants Eliza to extend some grace to Shay. Eliza says absolutely not. And I actually respect her for it because I feel like once you talk about my children or family, there's no coming back from that. What's to say you'll get mad at me next week because I miss a call or something and won't go talking about my kids and family again. So, you know, I respect her for that. I do. She says she's not going because Shay's going and she did not go. So good for you, Eliza. I'll leave it there. So everybody arrives to the Dominican Republic. Trina brought not one, but two guests with her. And she is a goddamn guest of. She brought Hot Topic, which Trina did because she's messy. Let's keep it 100. Hot Topic is not fully respected from what I could look into. It seems like in Miami, it doesn't look like people know who she is or any type of follower too much outside of the show. That is not shade. It's just the fact. I feel like Trina brought her there because she knows that Hot Topic has beef with Gael. And Trina's the one person who has something to lose if she really does like fight someone. That's why you always see Trina hollering and pleading with security to let other people get to them and stuff. Because she's not trying to lose her bag getting sued. But yeah, I just thought that was messy. And then she said that the ladies are potentially jealous of her man. Let me tell you something, Trina. We done watched you in so many relationships. I don't think anybody is jealous. We'll be jealous after you've been with him for 2 years with a ring. That's when we'll be jealous. Trina recycles men.
I feel like this is and I feel like Trina, even if that wasn't the situation, what you just said, that looked like a yes man. Yes, like I'm gonna do everything, rub your feet, wash your toes, everything in between. That looks exactly. Don't nobody want that. He's not bad on the eyes, but like,
he's not. I'm not saying that, but I just always have red flags when my friends are like, no, he's everything. He's not like the others. This my boo. I love it's different with him. When you said the same thing about Raymond and the boy before him and Lil Wayne and and multiple other people she done dated. So I'm just like, all right, just be with them. If it's good, just be with them. Please, just be with them. But I need to see Trina with somebody a long time before I can believe it. Anywho, in the morning, everyone gets settled. The ladies are speaking, and Estelita is a part of this conversation, and she reveals now Estelita and Shay have had problems, and we watched in a previous episode. Shay tell Estelita, "Bitch, go suck your daddy's dick," and Estelita lost her shit. When she said that, I just wanted to post this so everybody, even though we moved on, I want Trina to know if somebody sends her a SOS of Mrs. Best didn't watch your mouth. Listen, Trina, nobody is jealous of that man. Nobody's jealous. If we jealous of anything, it's your money, goddamn it, not the man. I want your money though, but not the man.
The real money, not the one that's tied into liens. I want the real cash. Just saying.
Trina's lost her mind. I know he must got good dick though, because she has lost her mind, and that's usually the sign. Anywho, they're speaking, and Estelita reveals that when Shay told her to go suck her daddy's dick, that she found it to be extra offensive because they did have a friendship, and she did have a receipt for it showing on the family reunion of her talking about how her father. Can I say that on YouTube?
No,
she was
you
victim
can't,
of SA, which not
Mhm.
psychological essays and suicidal,
Yeah,
that
not that one.
essay, the bad, the really bad, what R.
The
Kelly's
violation.
down.
Yeah, the violations of
We'll
no
call it
violation.
R. Kelly because
Yeah.
I mean, shit, that's what it is. But she dealt with that because of her father, which I'm so sorry. I think that's difficult. Anybody
My
watching
heart my heart broke for her in so many different ways. Like just because you could tell that still
Mhm.
traumatizes her. And you could tell
Obviously, if she
like
has
you
to hold a sugar daddy.
which is why even if I'm at my worst with somebody, I would not tell them to perform a sexual favor to the abuser or the predator. I'm not fin to sit there and do that. And I thought she was saying her sugar daddy. I didn't realize it was her actual father. She needs both hands and feet put on her. No, she was talking about her
The
actual
thing
father.
of it is, when I heard it originally, I was like, that's a weird thing to say, but she has to be talking about the sugar daddy. But then I said, well, even if she is talking about the sugar daddy, it's still just as bad because the man just got put in the ground. So, and I'm a firm believer, don't make fun of kids, people who are passed on, let them rest in peace. Don't be bringing their name up about drama and bullshit, little stuff like that. So, no matter how it's fun, what Shay said was awful and unnecessary, especially having a daughter with a shady ass father. Yes, I'm saying it. It's interesting that Shay would have that response. And this is why I feel like she goes too far. Estelina actually breaks down in tears. I believed her. I mean, my God, I've dealt with my own experiences with SA as well. Unfortunately, years and years of therapy. You just learn how to live with it. You never learn how to get over it. But I didn't have my father do that to me. My dad was trying to kill the motherfucker who came for me. He's crazy. But for your parent to do that, that has to be like even more of a mind fuck. So I do feel for Estelita. Um, However, what is this, MTV or VH1? Which I think this is still on VH1. Y'all need to don't have Shay around somebody who's obviously so upset to where it emotionally impacts their whole state. Estely is not going to be able to handle her appropriately, likely without snatching her up. And I agree with Naya. She does need hands and feet put on her because Shay always does this season after
I was gonna
season.
say she always goes to the white meat and try to always or slut somebody as if.
Hmm.
But I'm just saying it really did. That's like kind of below the belt. Like calling her a scammer, fine, oh fine. But when you actually put context on abuse like that, that's like, okay, you've gone too far.
Yeah, you've gone way too far because now you're coming for her core. And that's what that shows. Shay is going to say whatever she can to come for you that's going to impact your core. And nobody's really your friend, even if you fall out. I've had people I've fallen out with before, but no one should ever talk to anybody that way. So I
No.
do feel like Shay meant it to be about the sugar daddy, but even then, you playing with the dead and coming at this lady when you know that she has to survive and the
I'm
sugar
going to at
daddy.
least hope that's who that was about.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't hear the word sugar come out her mouth before she said daddy. So I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt because that is an awful thing to say. But mind you, this was because she didn't come to a baby's birthday party. Right.
A baby that does not belong to Estelita. A baby by a friend that you met on television. So you know that this friendship is likely surface level. And it's that way with most of us with coworkers. It takes me a long time before a coworker becomes like a friend. Uh, and these people are essentially coworkers. It just to say that just because someone missed your daughter's birthday when your daughter, God willing, is gonna have so many more birthdays. Stupid.
And the
Petty.
thing about it is, it's not like her daughter, and as of this last week, it's not like her daughter at 1 years old is going to remember whether or not Estelita was there.
That's true.
So I'm not even going to sit up here and act like that was really an important birthday. Because the first birthday, yes, it's a milestone. But at the same time, that baby is not going to remember whether or not she was there.
I
So
had
for
a
you
first
to,
birthday party. I don't remember that
I
shit.
don't
Never
remember.
have.
I think that if I were to go back in time, the only birthday I remember was my third birthday, and that's because I had a traumatizing experience.
Oh
I'll be
hell.
funny. My mom, I used to have this obsession with Barney as a little kid, so my mom ended up getting someone to put on the suit and come to my birthday party.
Oh
And
no.
and I didn't think it was real, so I am traumatized, running from Barney. He's trying to get me. I am losing my damn mind. Like I still can feel, and the only person that I went to was my aunt, and she calmed me down.
James. You know what? My younger sister was afraid. I loved Baby Bop. My little sister was afraid of him. We had to share a room. I used to be whooping her ass. Like, I can't have him in here. I was a violent child, Lord. But that's so funny. Listen, shit like that sticks with you. It does. But needless to say, it's not something to get upset about. I think Shay just looking for a reason. I think she probably lets I feel like she has moments where she lets like her fame or the ability to be on the show get to her head, especially with newer
But
people.
the thing about it is, what's so crazy? She's not even a main cast member.
She's not, but let her think what she thinks, and let Shay think what she thinks. I'll just say that I just don't like what she said and did to Estelita. Moving it along, beautiful people and thugs. Uh, we move on back to the States to see Eliza Rain. She stayed home instead of going on the trip. She's in the salon. She's got her daughter with her. Is it Shajaya, I think? Or no?
Yeah, it's so
Some I can't remember her daughter's name right now. And I'm not trying to be messy. I genuinely cannot remember it because I think Shajaya is Shay's daughter. Shamia. That's what it is. There's Shamia or Shamaya. Anywho, I can't remember the girl's name. She looked just like her mama, though. She's very cute.
she do. She looks
Um,
exactly like that. I said, girl, you had that baby by yourself because she is your spitting image. It is
she
crazy. I
looks,
was looking at that like, oh my god.
Lord help us. But they're in the salon and it's again, she didn't go on the trip to avoid Shay, though Shay said the same things as Miami Tip, but Miami Tip and Eliza have history, so maybe that's it. But she stays back, she's with her daughter, and they talk about the HOA thing. Her daughter's pretty aware of it and was like, I was expecting it. I think anyone with like, you don't even have to have a house if you know people who've owned or just have basic understanding, a little bit of life experience, that HOAs can be strict sometimes, but usually it's for the betterment of the owner, but I ain't dealing with that shit when I buy. No, I'm not. You're not gonna tell me what I could do where I own. But anywho, the daughter's not surprised about it, but the daughter lets Eliza know that she's pregnant, which did not surprise me because most young ladies her age who are dumb enough to run around with a boy when they have a mom who will give them everything to go steal catalytic converters from hardworking people who don't have moms to give them everything. She wants to leave the boy's
That's a
side now.
little
She's been
personal.
happy with him to come home. That's because you're pregnant and you try now. I don't care how young you are, you thinking about that baby. Where am I going to put it? What am I going to feed it? What if I can't find a job? How am I going to do the first few months where people say they can't sleep? I feel like that's why she's trying to come home because obviously she's very hurt by her mother. But Eliza walks away, asks to have the cameras away from her, entirely melts. In my opinion, I think that this was genuine, and I think that she realized, and I think that's why the daughter told her on camera so her mom wouldn't flip out. But I
Oh
think
yeah, because I was scared for her safety.
listen, no, but
I
I
tell
think
you.
she also realized like my baby's doing what I did. Oh no. So I
Yeah,
did
that
feel
definitely was
for
a
her.
realization.
I
Like
did
you
feel
saw it in
for
her
her.
face when she was putting on her stockings. You saw her, like you saw her face, and you was like, she's like, I did this. She just did this because it's
Yeah.
her first. Where she goes, what about school? Like what?
And the little girl said when she asked what about school, I'm not going no more. And that's how this is why people say there is a such thing as being too young for a baby. I don't think any person's really ever truly like ready for one. You could want it, but no one's truly fully prepared. But this is exactly why you don't just want to have babies so young or alone. It is better, whether people want to accept it or not, to have a two-parent household. There's science and facts behind it. So, but you can also do just as well in a one-parent household. So, there's that. But I just don't understand how this girl thinks that not finishing school is an option when your man has to steal shit from other people for money.
Because
Like,
she's looking at that's appealing to these young kids. I don't know why that is. That's appealing to be on that edge and stuff. And I think we all kind of have that phase where somebody who lives off the edge like that was appealing. I never was never on the street. My mama got mouth and I didn't hear it. So when I tell you, I was one of those people that listen. I'm not gonna get in the wrong shit. I'm not gonna be involved in the wrong shit. But you could tell like she really is lost. Like you
Mhm.
could tell the daughter is really lost. You could tell that she does not know which way to go. You could tell that she's easily influenced by men, and and that goes to show you that I feel like her mama was really present.
Well, she said that her oldest spent a lot of time with grandparents and stuff like that because that's
Right, and
what she grew with. But
yeah, and the thing about grandparents knew what their time was like on
Mhm.
Earth. They don't know what these kids' time is like. They don't know. So realistically, kids are going into things blind because they were taught one thing when that was 30 years ago when you raised your child. Now 30 years later, shit is crazy. So yeah,
um, what I will say, the little girl's pregnant. There's not much you can do about it now. I mean, I know if she is in California or certain states have options to abort and things like that, but not everybody wants to do that. Um, all I know is putting her out the first time, you got her back pregnant. So I don't think that putting her out a second time is going to help the situation. I do think you're right
no, we
that the
just would have
daughter.
drove by. No, we would have drove by Costco or Sam's Club, and since she don't want to go to school no more, but this is what you about to do. You can get one.
Yeah, that's how my mom was. She was like, y'all can do what you want to do, get pregnant, have babies, all of that to my siblings or whatever. But you have to go to school or you have to get a job. And if you're not doing that, then don't ask her for shit. And like
Right.
my siblings be like, that's so harsh. I'm like, me and my sister, because we're much older. I said, shit, we do something wrong. We got put the fuck out. Y'all just gotta have
Exactly.
a job.
Yeah, just have a job, and then let me tell you something. Then you get a job to save up to get the fuck out. Because when I tell you, when I have kids, and my kid decide to do that, when I tell you we gonna be right at Costco in that little career center, how they got the two computers right there when you first walk in, saying we're hiring. I'm gonna sit right there. You better apply for this thing. You better be honest.
Right. Yeah. My mom
Especially
was
if
like
you're over
that.
18 too. Oh no, you
Yeah.
gotta get
Yeah.
you a
She's
job.
an adult. So listen, having babies are always a blessing and they're cute. And I love how they
I
smile. But
remember
you
our
got to be
friend.
ready.
I remember our friend, your former friend, my still current friend.
Oh,
Um, I remember when she was fucking up, and I remember her mama was like that. When her mom used to
yeah.
do
Her grand. Yeah.
drive-bys. Yeah, her mom used to do y'all. Our friend's mom used to do drive-bys when she had night school and used to drive around the whole parking lot looking for her car to make sure she was at school because she didn't want to go to
Yeah.
class.
She cut a lot though. She did cut class a lot, like so much.
Yeah,
And one time her mom called my mom and was to warn my mom, which I thought was funny. Like, I don't want because I got really good grades, y'all. I was a square. And her mom was like, I don't want your daughter to lose track. I just want you to know my daughter's not on the right track. I was like, what the hell? Told my mom she was adopted as emotion. I said, oh shit. Um,
damn,
anywho,
her
yeah.
business.
Yeah, That's why that girl messed up. She got problems. Anywho, um, but yeah, that is true. But I hope that they figure it out. But as I see Shayna left a comment that's relevant. Eliza's still running the streets. Unfortunately, this isn't surprising. And that's why you guys have
It's
to
not.
understand, like, if you are a single parent, being more present is better. I know you want to run the streets sometimes, but it's kind of like a job. Sometimes you want to stay up, do extra stuff, but you got to go
Yeah,
to bed
and
on
and I agree with you, Shayna. Like she is to run the streets, but she was able to parlay it into some income. So I mean, until her daughter could figure out that same kind of hustle, I'm sorry, I have to flow with the lies on this one because I understand the disappointment. I do. But then
Yeah.
that goes to show you, Eliza, what happens when you become an absentee parent. You can't expect her to be perfect and shit.
I
I'm
also
just
think examples are important. This girl we didn't know she had an adult daughter when she was being seen in private jets sucking off 13 different niggas with Tory Lanez, or when we seen her fucking with Future and then fucking with a
because
different
she's
guy.
so pretty. I keep forgetting that was her claim to fame. Oh,
Yeah, but we have to remember that prior to that, from what we heard, she was in the strip club with Miami tipping them, which nothing's wrong with that. But if someone just what we saw publicly between like 2019 to 2023 before Eliza came on this show, her daughter was watching that. And I feel like that probably impacted her choices in men as well. The girl is pretty. I just want her to make better choices. But with some kids, they got to learn the hard way. And I have a feeling her daughter may be that way. But We'll see what Eliza does. At least she has a storyline on her own without having to sleep with 10 different men and somebody who also slept with her sister. So I will give that to her. Moving it along to the last scene of this recap. Go ahead and like the video for me, y'all. If you have not already, I appreciate you, Thug Life. Remember, it is what it is and it ain't what it ain't. Amari La Negra gives a speech back in the Dominican Republic. And for some reason, Gael interrupts her speech and stands up. And this is where the bullshit begins. Beautiful people. Gael stands up and wants to make peace with Trina. She says she vows not to be messy. We know that's a lie. We know that that's a lie because Gael doesn't know anything else other than to be messy. And I'm still wondering what happened with the restaurant that was burnt down. But she apologizes to Trina and Joy and explains. This is where Gael fucked up, but it was kind of funny. I'm not going to lie. I apologize for throwing a drink on you guys. The drink was actually meant to hit Hot Topic. I said, did you really just, I'm sorry that you got hit by the drink that was not meant for you. I meant to throw that drink. I don't regret it. I just regret it hitting you. Gael don't be realizing what she says before she says it. And I'm not going to lie. She's hella funny to me. She's funny because in my mind, there's no way there's people like this in the world, but I know that there unfortunately really are. Mm-hmm. If I go to my neighborhood, I'm going to see about 10 of them just right outside my Nana house. I'm going to just see them.
Let me say, Gael a different kind of special. I have never in my life. While the girl was sitting right there, she said, no, that drink, I didn't mean to hit you. I meant to hit her over there, right there. So it was like.
With no fear.
It's like, okay. So it's like, I apologize, but that wasn't even for y'all. It was for her. It was like, why you couldn't just pull them to the side?
She doesn't know. She
doesn't. Bless her heart. She just crazy. Like
I really believe she's crazy, and Flo knows that and is taking advantage of her sister's crazy ass.
Flo, you need to get the fuck off the show and let your sister have the opening title.
No, I agree, because if you peep, the whole cast has heard of or knows Gael, but nobody really want to say shit or deal with her until. But yeah, she actually knows. What the hell? Hi, right. Mr. Also Tender. You left the comment and stopped my entire live. It did. I'm like, damn.
I just realized he did.
He did. The whole live paused. Apologies for the technical difficulties. Hopefully StreamYard will clear that up. But then I see a comment from my husband. I'm like, nigga, what you do to the Wi-Fi? I'm watching.
Now he says, I'm not sorry I hit you, but I'm not sorry I threw.
Right. That was the funniest thing for me when watching it. I literally in the bed said, oh my God, Gael, there's never going to be a chance that it gets better. But she does say that Zoe, for some reason, Hot Topic is even thrown off by this. Like, did she really just say that? So Hot Topic didn't say anything. And it's just baffled by the bullshit. So then, I'm so done with them. I got the power. The whole life stopped. I'm like, what? Lord. Anywho, Zoe ends up getting upset. And the reason she gets upset is because after Gael says that the drink that she threw at Trina and Joy was actually meant for Hot Topic, she sees a Hot Topic and everybody can't believe she said that. It's not going nowhere. So she has to fish for more drama. So then she tries to push Zoe to talk with Hot Topic because Zoe and Hot Topic had an issue, which Hot Topic handled it wrong, but Zoe was tripping that day. Hot Topic didn't have to tell an already big girl she needs to get a surgery when she's already knows about that. And Zoe didn't need to be so rude to Hot Topic when Hot Topic came at her trying to say you're talented and with positivity. But she tries to force them to talk, Gael, because she's crazy as hell. And Zoe's like, I don't want to talk. We're peaceful. Everything's going well, which I believe that Hot Topic and Zoe would not have had an issue if Gael didn't try to push anything. And they still don't have an issue because Zoe ends up walking the fuck away from the table. And my last note says, y'all, because I didn't listen, when all the hoopla happens, I love it, hip hop. I cannot just take notes for everything. And then she called her a hoe. And then she said, your baby died. I can't do that. But a bunch of hoopla happens because Gael is doing too much and Zoe's trying to walk away. Gael literally is not letting the girl walk away. I'm going to just say this. At this point, it's obvious that you people are contractually obligated to film together. It's obvious. Half of y'all don't like each other. The ones who's really from Miami, y'all all got beef,
And
which
then
tells me
it's
it's
hard to
messy.
tell who likes who and who's friends with who. It's hard to tell. I don't know who's friends with Amara. I don't know who's friends with Flo. I don't know who's beefing with Gael. It's like it's everybody. It's all
Well,
four
Gael is beefing with Miami-Dade County, or whatever other counties they have surrounding.
Well, that's clear. That's clear. Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much where the episode is, y'all. Personally, I feel like Zoe is an easy target, and that's why Gael fucked with her. And Zoe's the type of person who needs to be careful with who she hangs out with, because the more emotional you are, I think you have to be careful because people will take advantage of that. Even if you think it's not suiting them, it could be. But hopefully next week will give us more. I feel like this trip to the DR is going to be a lot. We will see where it goes.
Like it from the commercial. I don't know.
Listen, they're
like
giving a lot more right now than Atlanta. Mama D's carrying Atlanta right now. So
true that.
Listen, that's the asshole you put in the jacuzzi.
Oh,
Anywho, I love all of y'all. Thug Life, thank you for watching this video. Our next live, stay on the channel, will be Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. We're going to do it right after this one ends. We have the link in the description so that you can follow and subscribe to James's channel as well. But I appreciate y'all, and I will see you guys again next week. So adios.